What's up, guys, and welcome to Slowbro's VGC. Today we'll be using a Dual Primal Team with Golisopod, inspired from the recent Japan regionals, was it? Nationals, when the top eight guy brought Dual Primals with Golisopod, and yeah, we decided to build a similar team and try it out. We actually did this already. Like we already filmed a video of us using the team, explaining the team, but we accidentally turned off our mic when we were doing it, so it doesn't have any audio. So we're gonna be re-recording and reacting to the video, so you guys can have some audio to listen to. And yeah, let's just start off now. So first off, both of our restricted. We have Assault Vest, Kyogre, and Sitrus Berry on Groudon with Swords Dance. Now Assault Vest is pretty similar to the one that was brought to the Japan Nationals, but we decided that Swords Dance Citrus Berry is more consistent on Groudon over Life Orb, and we also don't like the recoil, and we don't think the recoil trade-off was worth it. Yeah, we did try Life Orb at first with like Thunder Punch, but I didn't really like it that much. Like the damage boost is nice, but sometimes it feels like having the option to Swords Dance, having the option to heal, just feels like much better than having Life Orb. And yeah, now Golisopod. Now Golisopod is a pretty interesting mon to have on dual weather teams because it's pretty good into Rillaboom. With Silver Powder, you can actually have a pretty good roll, I think, or maybe guarantee, to one-shot Rillaboom with first impression. Now, most Rillabooms don't have Protect, so a lot of times you can just... there's some that are running Protect, okay? Protect is starting to become more common on Rollabooms. So basically, you can catch them off guard, first impression before they can Grassy Glide and just knock them out directly. Wide Guard is pretty good utility on this. It lets Kyogre switch into Groudon easier. Like Groudon could not be hit by like a War Spout or Astral Barrage, and it doesn't come up as much as we would like it to, but it's still pretty nice as an option to have. Yeah, the emergency exit actually helps us because it allows us to reset weather. Like maybe you have Groudon in and you lose the weather war somehow, and you can switch out to Golisopod, and then Golisopod will get booted and go back into Groudon, and now you have the weather. And yeah, Leash Life is so that if it's not Golisopod's first turn, you can still do good damage to Rillaboom. And Sucker Punch is for Calyrex Shadow matchups. You have a Choice Scarf Manectric here, and what you can actually do is double Calyrex to knock it out before it can attack, which is something I like to have option of. And originally on this team we had Zapdos, but we decided that it's a pretty good opportunity to use Manectric. Yeah, Manectric's just a really cool mod that you don't get that much opportunities to use. And one Reddit user actually, I remember sometime he said that he used Manectric on a dual weather team and put in pretty good work. And I was like, hey, we're using a dual weather team. Why not we use Manectric instead, Like, yeah, a lot of mods with the electric. They actually put in a lot of work and actually did put in quite a lot of work. We have a modest Manectric because at 2x2 modest, you can actually still outspeed Choice Scarf Timid Ogre, so there's no reason to be timid here. Yeah, modest gives you more firepower and makes the rolls on Thunder and Overheat better. And yeah, we decided on Thunder, Snarl, Overheat, Snarl, and Mods, which is actually pretty convenient that in the video we just scroll down at this point. But yeah, that's our moveset. Volt Switch is for more pivoting around, and Thunder's pretty good damage into like Kyogre, for example. There are a lot of Assaultless Kyogres running around, but it still does decent damage to them, though Snarl is usually better in those situations. And yeah, we have Overheat. Overheat's pretty good for like Farah, because you look at this team, it has not great damage into Farah other than maybe Max Quake from Groudon. You can also knock out Zacian before it gets to move if the sun is set it up. Yeah, something I thought was pretty cool. And if you look at the left, it's actually pretty interesting that we have a Tornadus and Porygon too. And you might be like wondering, oh, what's going on here? Why do you have Tail and Trick Room on the same team?
And the reason behind it is so that we can have two forms of speed control because neither our Kyogre nor our Groudon are especially fast. So like against some really hyper offense teams, we still might get outpaced even if we set up Tailwind. So it's nice to have Trick Room as an option.
And yeah, and we actually used this team. We actually won 6 straight when we were testing it using our alt account. Like I was afraid that might be too garbage, but I actually won 6 straight. That's actually pretty cool. Some of them are forfeits that happened a little early, but I think we should.
I think we have the advantage on basically all of the quick forfeits.
This game, that person actually misplayed. We maybe should have lost. It probably would still be close. And here he protects Zacian and Airstream's Kyogre, and now his Velta outspeeds both of our mons. Um, but I think what's going on is that Velta is not max speed, so he's not confident that it outspeeds Kyogre. So what he actually does here is he goes for a Double Protect on Zacian and Max Darkness to Kyogre, which is like a pretty big misplay. Because the Kyogre is not max speed, that means that you can Airstream and Blade for pretty free. I think Zacian might actually just outspeed us at +1 though.
Maybe
no, yeah,
slow
it depends on the
Zacian.
speed. Well, yeah, I think it depends on the speed. I think here they're basically assuming that we're max speed Kyogre. So I guess in hindsight it could make some sense. Like if we were max speed Kyogre, we would still outpace them. But yeah, we actually aren't. So we are lucky
We beat
that.
Lunadon, Trick Room,
And it's pretty cool.
Megalodon.
Tyranitar, Calyrex, Shadow team. And yeah, we also beat this Calyrex team that wasn't Sash for some reason.
Yeah, you got surprised Sucker Punch by Golisopod.
And like when we was like helping at Astro Barrage, they were like, no, we should have wide guarded. We Sucker Punch instead. It's gonna have it Sash and do so much damage that we know it's not even Sash. So, and that was a pretty fun surprise.
Yeah,
And
the main reason why we didn't, um,
reason we expected to max because they had like a really low health Calyrex. I know Calyrex Kyogre. Like Kyogre's, you can see on the screen 6%. So like, are you really going to max that? So like, we expected Calyrex Shadow to be the one maxing, but it makes sense. You want to go for the spread damage. I think it's Life Orb, or maybe it's Choice Specs. So it's like, okay, and then hide behind Astro Barrage, and hopefully I can knock out your Kyogre or something. It's not AV.
yeah, and I get +2, and maybe I can steamroll fast enough to win.
Yeah, but didn't really work out. We Sucker Punch, we just one-shotted him. If he had maxed there, he would have survived. And yeah, and then at this point in the video, we are going to do live battles, and I say something like, hopefully we can keep up the wins, but I don't think so because we're probably gonna mess something up, and it's actually pretty good foreshadowing. We're pretty good at foreshadowing things.
Okay, now first matchup is into Triple Dragon.
And it's actually a really, really fun matchup because Dual Weather actually faced Triple Dragon
and got swept.
So it wasn't really great for us, and we're trying to change history, but it's still a very cool matchup.
Yeah, that was a question of the day. I don't know what was the original question of the day, but
What's your favorite bug type?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're using Golisopod. So what's your favorite bug type to use?
We're also using Manectric, so it might have been what's your favorite electric type?
No, that's on the other video.
Okay, that's gonna be the question of the day for the next video.
And yeah, so personally for me my favorite bug type is Heracross. I forgot if it's in the game, but it's kind of bad in the format right now.
Yeah, Sizer is also really cool.
Yeah, and here we decided that because they have Whimsicott, they're probably going to outpace us on their Tailwind. We know it's max speed Dialga, so we decided let's go for Trick Room mode. And here's actually interesting because do you bring Manectric or do you bring Golisopod? Um, Golisopod's pretty good at Umbreon, and it's probably the one that we should have brought. But instead, we went for the Manectric, and the reason behind that is that we thought a Manectric can threaten Urshifu Water better. Golisopod doesn't really do much into that.
I think the Manectric might actually have been the right choice if we didn't actually mess up later on.
And here we're like, oh no, it's a bad. I regretted not drinking Golisopod. Now Umbreon's gonna taunt us for free, and we can't really do much about it.
Yeah, this Umbreon, unlike most Umbreons, has taunt instead of yawn.
And safety goggles. And we said to Kyogre and Snarl, Eternatus isn't doing much, and it actually chose to protect here, which is interesting.
So Vault Switch might have been a cool idea.
But yeah, taunt coming to the Kyogre makes sense, and here we decided to War Spout and Snarl because um, Eternatus at -1 isn't doing anything to Kyogre. There's no point of risking accuracy. So War Spout, I mean we could have Ice Beam Eternatus, which is also interesting.
We do connect with our Snarl.
Yeah, you see Dynamax Cannon isn't doing much. At this point War Spout does do more, it's more accurate. And crit the Eternatus, which is pretty lucky. And Snarl comes back into Kyogre. And at this point, they were like, okay, you probably can knock out Umbreon in this turn. So I want to be able to get Porygon in so that we can Trick Room, right? Manectric's at -1 is locked into Snarl, which at this point we thought wasn't really necessary. So what we do here is, instead of Snarling, we switch to Porygon.
So we can Trick Room next turn.
Now this might be a misplay, I don't know, maybe staying and Snarling was better. But yeah, we decided for a while we go to Porygon, and Dynamax Cannon does a decent damage, and Origin Pulse actually misses both. So that's like very unfortunate, and it got from Moonlight, so
which puts them out of Origin Pulse range.
And that's really frustrating because we could have gone off Trick Room, but because Umbreon survives there now, where they probably would taunt us and we can't get off Trick Room anymore. We switch in Manectric to Kyogre so we can reset it, and Manectric actually gets one shot, which is kind of surprised us.
And Umbreon doesn't even go for the taunt.
Yeah, it goes for a pretty ballsy Moonlight. Like, I know you're not gonna Trick Room because you know I'm gonna taunt. I want to Moonlight so I can survive your Kyogre hits better, and it's a pretty cool, good call on their end. Now we expect like Dialga or something to come in, so we send in our Groudon since Kyogre's a bit low and can take hits as well. We want to try to get rid of Umbreon here, and Urshifu actually comes in.
Now I kind of disrespected Urshifu a bit since Surging Strikes and Sun doesn't actually do very much to Groudon.
Yeah, so like, haha, you sent Urshifu. Do you know Urshifu sucks? I consider Sword Dancing here because they don't really do that much, but the Umbreon does have foul play, and I was scared of it going for foul play into Groudon, expecting a Swords Dance. So I actually just directly go for the max here, and yeah, thinking about it for a while, if it's safe to Swords Dance or not, and who to max Quake, and maybe is he going to switch out into Salamence, or do you even bring Salamence? And we're just gonna, yeah, we just go for Quake into Trick Room because in case if you foul Playground, we can get off Trick Room for free. And he also Rapid Flow, we're like, haha, that's so trash damage. I don't know what, I was like pretty surprised how he maxed Urshifu. And yeah, he does taunt the Porygon, so it's kind of sad we could have got Sword Dance up, healed with Berry, and we were in a good spot, but we didn't get that off. But yeah, it's still fine.
Now I think there's a pretty good chance that Salamence might come in. So
we thought them bring Salamence does make a lot of sense. It's good into Groudon stuff. And we doubled the Umbreon, and this is actually a huge misplay because Urshifu, while it's pathetic, under Sun, in Sand, not so much. And yeah, we crit the Urshifu, it doesn't really change that much. And yeah, let's say we're like surprised at why the Max Knuckle do so much. It's because our spell is pretty bad. Yeah. Yes, close combat's not you're supposed to. Wait, let me pause the video. It's going a bit fast. Close combat from Choice and Urshifu doesn't even one shot like max defense Porygon, so like Max Knuckle that's gonna do a lot less, and did 74%. We're like, okay, that's a bit bad. At this point, we realized we were screwed and just go for a Quake and Dialga. Maybe they misplay me, they target Porygon.
Maybe we survive.
Yeah, but actually the right play
is to
Here might have been to switch Groudon into Kyogre and just sack it so that we can reset Sun back up.
And yeah, maybe they're afraid that double into Earth Power won't knock out, go for Roar of Time, and
Yeah,
they
because after
missed.
this turn, Urshifu will turn to normal Urshifu and Sun. It's probably not gonna knock out Groudon even at +1. And the other does have a lot of inaccurate moves, so we might have a shot, but here we just kind of gave up, which is probably not the right idea, you know. Sometimes you start to look for the route to victory even when it
They
feels
probably
like it
would
doesn't
still
exist.
lose, but like,
Yeah, like this wasn't really right play. Rapid Flow comes out, we're hoping we survive, but obviously we don't because it's +1 and it's in sand. I thought just nothing to we get another crown to Urshi, which is pretty nice, but it's not gonna bring us back. And yeah, Kyogre's just way too low to take hits and it can't do enough damage to Dialga. And we just click Origin Pulse, it doesn't really matter here. While we click yeah, Urshifu just knocks us out, and we were pretty sad that we, you know, won 6 straight on a higher count and then just lost the first game. And yeah,
so our second matchup is into Malamar and Snorlax.
yeah, one thing you just have to make sure that Malamar Snorks
Double,
don't set up
and they also have triple
on
steal, which
you.
is interesting.
Yeah, so Manectric and Overheat's actually pretty useful here, and I think we decided to lead Manectric Groudon so that we can overheat something.
And they
And
lead.
yeah, it's like a pretty good lead here. Wait, is a it's not fast, okay. Yeah, I was thinking about what to bring. Golisopod is pretty good if you're worried about Malamar, but we weren't that worried because Grab and Extra can still do a lot of damage. Like Overheat Precipice Blades might just knock it
They
out.
bring Kyogre and
The thing
Thorn
about
for
the
Tailwind.
interesting thing about Malamar here is actually that if you decide to max and max Knuckle, you actually drop your attack. So it's not really a good max option. And they lead in Snorlax. Now here we might have made a misplay because Snorlax actually has a pretty free belly drum and
But
we're
I
like
think like unless it's like cussed out or something, it's like
thinking of what to do. I don't know this is the most optimal play to be honest. We've also just Snorlax here, but he doesn't figure out Incineroar, which is I feel like it's a pretty big misplay from their end. We're scared of Double Edge, so that because Double Edge still does a lot from Snorlax. You know, it could be Choice Band. Probably might do like
it's probably Yawn
88%.
though, so we
You,
miss and crit. I would have liked it for a double hit over a crit, so we can remove a possible Shuka Berry.
and yeah, one thing is actually I was like pretty, you know, I was like pretty nervous, but then I saw that was not a berry Snorlax, so I knew it wasn't Belly Drum. So definitely could have made some sense. I think there you should have faked out Groudon though. Maybe he expected us to max. That's why he didn't. But yeah, now Sonic gets off a curse, but it's basically dead.
Solgaleo is a pretty good position now because you're staring down a -2 Groudon and a Torn.
Yeah, what you want to make sure you don't do in this spot is to Precipice Blades do no damage and activate weakness policy. So we just switch it out to Manectric and try to hopefully start some max turns. Like we probably could survive a Steel Spike here.
We taunt, which is probably the wrong play because I don't think he ever curse again in that position.
Yeah, but like there's not that much moves. Maybe should have just went for Hurricane.
Or Tailwind.
They also make interesting play of switching Snarks out to Incineroar so that would be -3 max quick versus Solgaleo, which is always not doing anything. Taunt does not do anything to Incineroar, and Max Quick does knock out Manectric, which is kind of sad. Hoping for Steel Spike there. I think Steel Spike might have been their better play, but I guess they thought with Incineroar they're not taking much damage. They can Quake in case of Kyogre or Manectric comes in, so that does make sense. We're like, okay, actually, here's a fun tip to do with Solgaleo. You start one turn max, and then let's say you have a Groudon, you start one turn, then you max, you attack on Solgaleo, and on your last turn, you attack Solgaleo when it's in its baby form and you're in max form.
Yeah, and here's where Tailwind thing the previous turn would have been better. Because now one play they could do is just fake out double tornadoes, and we don't get Tailwind up for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so it's it's a little rough for us. You can still definitely win, but yeah, like the opponent does have a pretty it's a pretty favorable position. He does fake out tornadoes, and that actually
Yes,
makes an
he
interesting play of Steel Spike into Groudon, which is kind of a misplay on their side because if you Steel Spike tornadoes, you can knock it out.
And here's where the miss is kind of bad because if we had hit it in Incineroar a while ago, that thing
Yeah,
would be dead right now. We can pick a knockout on Zacian if that's what's in his back, or Snorlax.
yeah. As you can see, tornadoes feints to Steel Spike, which was their right play, but they wanted damage to the Groudon. I think it does make some sense because Zacian is. Oh no, they didn't bring Zacian, so I don't know why they did that. I guess they wanted damage into Groudon. And here, yeah, here we actually quick the Pharaoh because once you turn normal, like Ferrothorn isn't taking much from us. If we quick Saw here and let Ferrothorn get off Iron Defense, we just lose. So we had to quick Ferrothorn here. If it protects, we had to target it. We were hoping OR Spout does knock out Saw, but it's probably not because they're not Mystic War.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Quake
quick
does pretty good damage.
OR Spout and does not knock out a Ferrothorn, so that's a bit sad. And he doubles, but then because he chose Seed Bomb's accuracy, he actually ends up losing there because it doesn't even take out a knock on Kyogre.
Yeah, like it
Which is
did
kind
like
of funny if you think
it
about
did
it.
only 41%.
There you go, Precipice Blade's Origin Pulse. Maybe we should have thundered the
But the
sauce.
idea is that we just need either like
We just need one of them to hit one of
one
them, basically.
yeah Blaze into Ferrothorn or
Yeah,
just
basically you just need one half of the moves to hit, so we're in good shape. But maybe we should have went for like a accurate thunder. I think it's not bad. Yeah, I think maybe I think Origin Pulse probably is the right play. And yeah, the final match of the video, and we face off against a really cool Mewtwo, Indeedee team, you know. And we actually thought this might be a team I saw on Reddit because there's one guy who was asking how to use Mewtwo, and he had a team of Mewtwo, Indeedee, Calyrex, I kind of forgot the rest of the mons. It could have been his team, but I doubt he's this high. I mean, maybe not to be too mean to him.
this is pretty low though.
Oh yeah, I guess it's not really that high. So yeah, we're like how to deal with Mewtwo. So here Golisopod actually has a pretty good matchup into all of the mons. We just have to make sure that Among Us is dealt with as early as possible. So we leave Torn. I believe our Torn has Taunt. I actually don't remember. I think that's Taunt. But yeah, we plan to taunt Among Us, and he leads it in DD Mewtwo. Now,
You just like them to follow me, that's just safe. So did I go for a water spout
okay,
and tailwind?
yeah, I think the right play there might have been to max Kyogre, but we didn't because he wanted to save our max for Golisopod possibly.
Which
And
is
thought it
kinda
was pretty,
ironic as you will see later.
yeah, pretty ironic. So yeah, like this game was a game that we could have won rather easily, but we kind of messed up later on. Tailwind into Waterside does a lot of damage to both of them. Like that's very good damage. And Hellcat Overgrowth and Mewtwo actually doesn't even knock out. Actually, one interesting thing is that it's not life for Mewtwo, so maybe it's Expert Belt. I think some people use Expert Belt Mewtwo, so that's why the damage is a bit lower. But like think about it. Hellcat Max Overgrowth doesn't even knock out.
So here maybe icy winding would have been better for the extra chip.
But we just double. Mewtwo does not get knocked out and knocks out Kyogre with Overgrowth. But one important thing is that it removes Psychic Terrain. So Golisopod can just revenge kill Mewtwo here even though it's slower. Golisopod wasn't super necessary because you can always just Hurricane with Torn. And here's where things start to go downhill. Um,
First impression, that was probably the
we
right
taunt
play.
the Kyogre, which is not exactly the best play because our mons are actually slower.
We
Well,
do have
Golisopod is slower.
we do have tailwind up, so
So me wasn't the worst, but Taunt there wasn't really that necessary. Hurricane might have been better. we switch our Golisopod because this is the last 2 months. We want our Golisopod to come in neutral. And here's where it goes even more downhill. We switch to Porygon, Hurricane. I think this is the right play. Maybe
Yeah.
Hurricane and Sinnoh might have been better, but this is fine either way.
Yeah, we just
Hurricane
want
is
some
decent
shit.
damage into Calyrex, Glacial Lance, brings us down to our stash. Now, here we get kinda greedy. Yeah, we clicked the right move at first, we're like, yeah, let's recover. But then for some reason, we decide to trick through. And the reason why is that Golisopod can now underspeed both of these mons. But like thing is, there's no point of going for trickery if you're not getting it up anyways.
Now, I think the Tricker might.
Wait, no, actually no, trickery might actually not have been a bad play. Because you actually see Glacial Lance only does 37.
So, Darkest Lariat likely wouldn't have knocked us out. And that's
But
assuming they
so
had
I
in the
guess
first
maybe it wasn't
place.
that bad of a misplay, but recover there was probably still better in the
It's
long
like
run.
safer, so we don't lose to like a
Yeah,
crit.
Hurricane confuses Incineroar here. It actually goes for close combat, and that does way too much to Porygon. And we realize we kind of screwed ourselves over.
Because Kyrus is now +2.
And plus 2 Glacial Lance should do a lot to Golisopod, right? Apparently it doesn't. And we thought it does. So we're like thinking, okay, do you have to go for first impression? And again, I don't know, you always like click the right moves and then decide that, we're not gonna do the right moves.
I wrongly think that we tried to cock it, but I didn't actually see the cock very clearly. Didn't actually remember it.
Yeah, like we're running out of time, didn't read the clock properly. The Galaxia here has more attack. I thought it doesn't change that much, so I didn't bother changing it. But yeah, probably should have. Yeah, we're running out of time, but you actually see we started actually at a decent time, so we probably should have taken longer. And we go for a first impression, and it does not knock out Kyogre, and we lose the game. So you can see Glacial Lance actually doesn't do that much. Like it's only here's not an accurate cock, but we cocked it later on, and it only does like 30+% to Dynamax Golisopod. So yeah, it wasn't really a good option. We should just max Flutter B into Calyrex is always a safer play, and you would have knocked out, and we would have probably won the game. It depends on how much does Flare by do to Incineroar, but I'm pretty sure
That it will be a one-hit KO because of the defense drop from close combat.
I don't think it's 1K. I think it's 2K. Wait, actually, it might be one shot, I guess, because it's probably 2 to attack Incin.
Was it defense drop and Hurricane Chip?
I guess it might. So yeah, there Max Flurry was the right option. We thought that Glacial Lance would do too much. And here, as you can see, we did cock it. And Glacial Lance is not actually doing that much, so we should have maxed. But yeah, that's the thing that happens sometimes. Sometimes you overthink some things. You overestimate your damage and you underestimate their damage and you make the wrong plays. But it happens. And yeah. It was sad because we saved our Max or Golisopod. It could have been cool Max Golisopod game. But instead what happened was we choked and we lost the game that we probably should have won. And yeah, that's it with this team. If you like this, be sure to subscribe as we will be uploading the second video of us using this team pretty soon. And
Bye.